very special edition of Big Bang Bubbles. Everyone say that with me. Big Bang Bubbles. Wonderful. My name is Professor Toto and I'm from Absolute Science. Have any of you ever seen an Absolute Science show? Great! Then you know that during an Absolute Science show, I like to run around like crazy doing all kinds of really cool science experiments. Sometimes I do experiments with lasers, sometimes I do experiments with chemicals, and sometimes I do experiments with explosions. And while I'm doing all of my experiments, I like to move around very quickly. But not today. You see, today I'm doing a Big Bang Bubble show. And when you do bubbles, you need to move very, very slowly. That's because bubbles are some of the thinnest things on Earth. Why, your eyes can see them and send information to your brain. But did you know that a bubble is only 1/20,000th as thick as a single human hair? And a bubble has 3 layers. A layer of soap, a layer of water, and another layer of soap. But you know, I don't think I should just talk about bubbles. I think I should make some bubbles. Who's ready to have some fun? I love to have fun, and I love the magic of bubbles. As a matter of fact, I've loved bubbles ever since I was a little boy. You see, when I was only 5 years old, my Nana took me to Murphy's 5 and Dime store in downtown Naugatuck, Connecticut, and she bought me my very first bubble toy. It looked a lot like this one, and I called it my bubble sword, because I could do this. Whoa! Look at those cool bubbles! Great big bubbles! And today we're going to be doing some great big bubbles. We're going to do some bubble sculptures. We're going to do small bubbles. We're even going to do some dangerous bubbles and the world's smallest bubbles. But before I do any more bubbles, I need to wipe off my hands. They're covered in bubble juice. Yuck. I'm going to wipe off my hands and then we're going to make some bubbles. I'm going to start with my very smallest wand and make some bubbles. Magical! But you know, I don't think I should be the only one making bubbles. I'm going to need a helper from the audience. I'm looking for someone who's sitting tall and straight with a big smile. Let's have that little girl right there. She's wearing a blue t-shirt. Come up on stage. Everybody out there watching, give her a big round of applause as she comes up on stage. Here she comes. Great job. Will you come stand right over here next to me? And tell us what your name is. This is Kaylee. Everybody say hi, Kaylee. Kaylee, say hi, everybody. And Kaylee, how old are you? 9. 9 years old? You're 9 years old? When I was your age, I was 9 years old. That's a true story. Well, Kaylee, have you ever blown bubbles before?
Yes.
Let's have you blow some bubbles for everybody watching. Let me dip it into the bubble juice and blow some bubbles up in the air and kind of blow them up so they float nicely in the air. Oh, now Kaylee was blowing a little bit hard, and that's okay. It takes a lot of practice to learn how to do bubbles. I'm going to let you hold the wand, Kaylee. Blow some bubbles up in the air. Blow them nice and high. There we go. Now, boys and girls, if the bubbles pop, that's okay. Let's blow some bubbles, Kaylee. Great job. Wait a minute. I have a great idea. Why don't we work together as a team? I'm going to dip the small wand into the bubble juice for Kaylee, and I'm going to get the medium-sized wand. Let's see if I can capture one of Kaylee's bubbles inside of mine. Go ahead, Kaylee, blow some bubbles. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep going, keep going. Oh, we're going to dip that again, Kaylee. There we go. Blow some bubbles up in the air, Kaylee. There we go. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. Let's see if I can capture. Whoa! Look at that. Let's do that one more time, Kaylee. I'll dip both of our wands into the bubble juice. Blow it up nice and high in the air so everyone can see. There we go. Let's see if I can capture her bubble inside of a bubble. Let's give Kaylee a big round of applause. Kaylee, take a big bow. Great job. You can go right back to your seat. Give her a big round of applause. Well, boys and girls, we just captured one bubble inside of a bubble. But I like lots and lots of bubbles. So watch this. I'll capture a bubble right here. Lots of bubbles. Big bang bubbles. Well, I love to do bubble sculptures. Do you love bubble sculptures? In order to do bubble sculptures, I need my light up bubble tray. So I'm going to turn the lights on my bubble tray so all of you can see the magical color of bubbles. And I'm going to need your help while I'm making these bubbles. While I'm blowing through tubes and through wands, I can't do all the talking. So I'm going to leave that up to you. You're going to help me count, and you're going to help me yell out what kind of bubble sculptures I'm making. So let's get started with one of my favorites. It's called a bubble trampoline. I'm going to use the medium-sized wand. I'm going to blow a bubble, and then I'm going to attempt to bounce that bubble off of the bubble film on the medium-sized wand. Your job is to help me count how many bounces we get. The world record is 5. Here we go. First the bubble. Let's take this one right here. Help me count how many bounces. 1, 2, 3. 3? Should we do it again? Let's try it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a new record. 6. A new Big Bang bubble record. So let's make some more bubble sculptures. This time I'm going to use the small wand, and I'm going to make a bubble caterpillar. Your job is to help me count how many bubbles long my caterpillar is. Are you ready? Everybody count. 1, 2, 3, 3. Should I make it bigger? 4, 5. One more bubble. Let's make it 6. A wiggly, jiggly caterpillar. It's a Big Bang bubble. Let's make another bubble sculpture. This time, I want you to see if you can guess what I am making. This is something that you may have ridden well, it's like a roller coaster. Oh, let's see if you can guess what it is. It does come from an amusement park. Now I need a bunch of little bubbles. Who said that it's a merry-go-round? You're right, it's a merry-go-round. So let's do another bubble sculpture. This time I'm going to do something that's a little bit dangerous. Who's ready for something that's dangerous? I'm going to make something dangerous. Let's see if you can guess what this is. It starts with one big bubble. Then I need to add 6,414 teeny bubbles. And there it is. Did you guess what it is? It's a beehive, and it's a big bang bubble. So let's make another bubble. But this time we're going to add a new element into our bubble. We're going to add a little bit of bubble smoke. Let's add a little bit of bubble smoke to the bubble. Now this bubble starts with 6 bubbles. Help me count the 6. Six bubbles. Now, let's add the new element. Oh, that didn't quite work. I'm going to do that one again. Remember, if you try something and it doesn't work the first time, try it again. That's how you get to be good at anything you want to do. Practice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Watch the very center of the bubble. Look at that, boys and girls. Look right in the center. Can you see a cube? You see, when you put 2 bubbles together, they share a side. When you put 3 bubbles together, they create a 120-degree angle. And when you put 6 bubbles together, they create a bubble cube. Why, it's a big bang bubble. So far today, we have put air and smoke into bubbles. It's time to put a brand new element into our bubbles. How many of you boys and girls know what makes a balloon float? Raise your hand. Yell it out. That's right, helium. So we are going to create some helium bubbles in just a moment. First, I need to get this. It's a very expensive bubble bowl that I got at Dollar Tree. I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to spray it with a little bit of water. Do you know why I spray it with water? That's right, the bowl is dry. Anything dry will pop a bubble. Usually that's little kids' fingers. But anything dry, dry air, little dust in the air, or a dry bowl will all pop a bubble. So now I'm going to make my very first helium bubble creation. I need to start by putting a big bubble in the bottom of the bowl. 1 bubble in the bottom of the bowl, and then 2 helium bubbles. 1 and 2. And finally, we add a little bit of bubble smoke. And there it is. It's a bubble snowman. And it's a big bang bubble. But you know, I don't think I should be the only one having fun with helium bubbles. I'm going to need another volunteer from the audience to help me. If you'd like to come up and help me with a helium bubble, raise your hand. How about that lady right back there? She's wearing a blue sweater, a purple sweater. Give her a big round of applause. Here she comes up on stage. Wonderful, come right over here. And tell everyone what your name is.
My name's Mary.
This is Mary. Everybody say hi, Mary. Well, Mary, you and I are going to work together as a team to create our next helium bubble sculpture. You and I are going to create a rocket to the moon. Now your job is to launch our rocket when we do the countdown. You will do that by popping the bottom bubble in the bowl, okay? Let's get started making our rocket. First, we need the bubble in the bottom of the bowl. Just like that. Then we need a helium bubble. That is going to launch our spaceship. Then we need to use our bubble fogger to create a little smoke. And we need our space capsule. Everyone, help me count to 3. When we count to 3, pop that bottom bubble, Mary. 1, 2, 3. And there it goes. Our rocket to the moon and splashdown. Give Mary a big round of applause. We created a rocket to the moon bubble, and it's a big bang bubble. Well, now let's add a new element to our bubble sculptures. In order to do that, I need to get my bubble tripod with my bubble paddle. I'm going to spray my bubble paddle with a little bit of water, just like this. Why am I spraying it with water? Because it's dry. Now I'm going to put a big bubble on the bottom of the paddle. Just like that. And let's add a little bit of bubble smoke. Watch what happens next. Whoa! Can you see that? Look at that! We've created the very dangerous bubble volcano. It's a big bang bubble. That's amazing. So we've added smoke to bubbles, we've added air to bubbles, we've added helium to bubbles. Now it's time to do the world's most dangerous bubble. Who's ready for the world's most dangerous bubble? I'm not. Are you sure you want to see it? You do? Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way because it's time now for the world's most dangerous bubble. You don't seem impressed. This makes the world's most dangerous bubbles. Do you want to see the world's most dangerous bubbles? All right, I'm going to dip it into the solution. Don't say I didn't warn you. Here we go. The world's most dangerous bubble, the poisonous bubble snake. You don't believe me? That's a bubble snake? Aren't you scared? Oh, I'm just kidding. This isn't very dangerous at all. This makes the world's smallest bubbles. That's why I brought it. At the beginning of the show, I promised you I would show you the world's smallest bubbles. And that's what this does. It makes the world's smallest bubbles. Watch. I'm going to blow some bubbles in the air. They'll be kind of big when I start, but they'll start getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you can barely see them. When they almost look like snowflakes, I've created the world's smallest bubbles. Here we go. Now those bubbles are pretty big, but they'll get smaller and smaller. And smaller yet. And there they are. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the smallest bubbles in the world. They're big, big bubbles. Well, so far we have created The smallest bubbles in the world. We put air inside of bubbles. We put smoke inside of bubbles. We put helium inside of bubbles. Now it's time for the fiery foam of doom. Everybody say, oh no, not that. Yes, I am going to get the fiery foam of doom. But in order to use the fiery foam of doom, I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience. Oh, kids, you can put your hands down. I'm going to be looking for an adult for this incredibly dangerous bubble sculpture. How about that fella right back there? Yes, come right up here, the fellow in the blue jeans. Great, give him a big round of applause. Would you stand right over here, sir? Thank you so much. Thank you for being so brave to face the fiery foam of doom. And what is your name, sir?
Rick.
This is Rick. Everybody say goodbye, Rick. Goodbye, Rick. Oh, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Now, Rick, you will be perfectly safe during this entire bubble sculpture. I would like you to hold your left hand out like this. Your other left hand, sir. Perfect. Hold your hand right there. I am going to put some fiery foam of doom into your hand, and then I am going to light it on fire. Now remember, everyone, a bubble is only 1/20,000th as thick as a single human hair. So 1/20,000th the thickness of a single human hair will be the only thing separating Rick's hand from the fire. Everybody say, oh no. Oh yes. So Rick, keep it. It's perfectly safe, Rick. I promise you will feel some heat, but you will not be harmed in any way. Keep your hand right there, nice and safe and sound, while I dip the fiery foamer of doom into the bubble juice. I am going to put some bubble juice on your hand, just like this. Uh-oh, the valve's stuck. I can't turn it off. I've never had this much before. Oh, well, we're going to find out what happens in just a moment. Boys and girls, on the count of 3, I am going to light the fiery foam of doom on fire, and we'll all see what happens. Are you ready? Help me count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Amazing! Give Rick a big round of applause. Now, Rick, before you go back to your seat, I'm going to give you a towel so you can wipe your hands off so they're nice and clean. One time I did this trick and the man wiped his hands on his jeans. Do not wipe your hands on your jeans when you have hands full of fiery foam. And let's give Rick another big round of applause. Thank you so much, Rick. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have now put fire in bubbles. We have put air in bubbles. We put smoke in bubbles. We put helium in bubbles. We've put all sorts of things into bubbles. But I'm missing one final thing that I want to put inside of a bubble. A person! Who would like to be inside of a bubble? You would? Well, then I'm going to move my bubble tray. Let me turn off my bubble lights. I won't need my bubble lights anymore because I'm going to move my bubble tray out of the way because now I need my bubble basin. And inside the bubble basin goes 3 gallons of bubble juice. I have it right here. Boys and girls, I'm going to need your help to safely pour the bubble juice. Everybody say, Professor Toto, don't spill the bubble juice. Let's pour the bubble juice right inside the big bubble basin. After I pour all of the bubble juice into the bubble basin, I am going to be picking 3 people out of the audience to go inside of a bubble. So now I have all my bubble juice. I'm going to be looking for a volunteer who's sitting tall and straight with a big smile on their face to go inside my biggest bubble wand of all. I'm going to let that soak in there for just a moment while I pick my first volunteer. How about that lady right there with the blue jeans? Let's give her a big round of applause as she comes up on stage. Here she comes. In just a moment, I am going to put my volunteer inside of a bubble. So I would like you to come stand right about there. Perfect. Now, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, you might want to get out your cell phones or your cameras. This makes a great photo opportunity. On the count of 3, I am going to put my volunteer. What's your name?
Mary.
This is Mary. I am going to put Mary into a bubble. Now, Mary, since you are an adult, I am only going to be able to go down to about your shoulders, okay?
Okay.
Everyone, help me count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Pretty cool. Let's do that again. Everyone help me count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. Give Mary a big round of applause. Thank you, Mary. Let's bring somebody else up there. How about that girl in the blue t-shirt? Let's give her a big round of applause as she comes up on stage. Here she comes. Wonderful. And I'd like you to come stand right over here where Mary was and tell us what your name is.
Kaylee.
This is Kaylee. Everybody say hi, Kaylee. Kaylee, are you ready to be inside of a bubble? Moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, are you ready to take your pictures? Then here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whoa, let's do that again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And one more time, Kaylee. Oh, and Mom, there's absolutely no charge for the free shampoo. Everyone help me count one more time. 1, 2, 3. And let's give a big round of applause for Kaylee. Thank you so much, Kaylee. You can go right back to your seats. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for a very special attraction, it's time now to put an entire person inside of a bubble. Let's give a big round of applause for my assistant, Kaylee. Give Kaylee a big round of applause. Step right inside, Kaylee. Put a big smile on your face. Everybody say, hooray for Kaylee! Kaylee, are you ready? Here we go. An entire bubble around Kaylee! Whoa! Look at that! Let's do that one more time, Kaylee. Are you ready? Make sure you have your camera ready. Here we go! Give Kaylee a big round of applause, everybody! But wait! Kaylee, don't go just yet. Your mom is here today. If one person inside of a bubble is great, 2 is twice as great. So let's give a big round of applause for Kaylee's mom. Kaylee, take one step forward. You're going to stand in front of your mom. Kaylee, Mom, put a big smile on your faces because it's time to be in a bubble. Let's do that one more time. And don't forget, give them a big round of applause. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. A big round of applause for Kaylee and her mom. Take a big bow. Thank you so very much. Remember, if you love bubbles as much as I do, promise that you'll make some bubbles this summer. And you'll visit your library when your library is open so you can check out some books on bubbles. Well, boys and girls, have you had fun making bubbles today? I love making bubbles. And you've been such a great audience that I would like to try one more bubble. You see, this is a bubble that I normally only make outside. But you're such a great audience, I'm going to try to make this bubble inside. Are you ready? I need to get my very biggest bubble wand. This one is called a tri-wand, and I am going to let it soak for just a moment. Then I am going to attempt to make the biggest bubble anyone has ever seen indoors. And if I do, I want you to yell, I want you to clap, and I want you to cheer for the biggest bubble ever seen inside. Are you ready? You don't sound ready. Are you ready? Then here we the biggest bubble ever inside. Let's hear it, boys and girls, for the biggest bubble. And there it is, the world's biggest indoor bubble. And it's a big bang bubble. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. And remember, kids, if you love to make bubbles, or you love science, or you love magic, or ponies, well, just about anything you love, you can find and read about in your local library. So make sure you get a chance to visit the library and check out all the great books. On behalf of all my friends in Absolute Science and Big Bang Bubbles, I'm Professor Toto. Thanks for watching the show today. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.